How is it going, everybody? This is Shay D of Shay D Horror, back with another watch and another review. Today it is, in my humble opinion, what I think is a classic, Stephen King's It. I went ahead and watched the Blu-ray, but as you can see here, I have that double VHS, the two VHS cassette tape set. There is the old paperback novel. I have the DVD, but I went ahead and gave the Blu-ray a watch. Let's go ahead and get into the synopsis of this. October 1957. It awakens, and the small town of Derry, Maine will never be the same. Stephen King brings to life every childhood fear and phobia as seven children face an unthinkable horror which appears in various forms, including Pennywise, played by Tim Curry, a clown who lives, hunts, and kills from the town's sewers. Years later, the surviving adults who are brave enough return to stop the new killing spree, this time for good. So, as you can see here, I got my little It collection. Even got some Pennywise stickers up there. There being the original Tim Curry, and there being the newer one. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is It. It is from the year 1990. It is a TV miniseries, and it has a runtime of 3 hours and 7 minutes, and it is put out by Warner Brothers Entertainment. Long overdue for rewatch and review. Yet another childhood favorite of mine. The TV miniseries that was an event when it came out, and the birth of a horror icon, Pennywise the Clown. Tim Curry knocks it out the park. He's such a great character actor. In the movie Legend as well, another childhood favorite of mine, which I watched not long ago. He plays the Prince of Darkness or whatever in that one. This whole cast here is great, by the way, and this film, or miniseries, I should say, looks good on Blu-ray. This whole storyline is really mean-spirited. It targets children and uses their fears against them. This holds up well as far as Pennywise goes. He looks and sounds creepy. This is shot well. It's well directed and acted. The sound and score are great. This here, to me, is a classic. The locations are great, and of course, the cast. So many well-known and recognizable faces here, and we get to know all of the characters from childhood all the way to adulthood. And for a 3 hour plus miniseries, the pacing is surprisingly good. I hadn't watched this in a while, and I got right into the story and the vibe of this. It sets a tone and it delivers. Still good, and Pennywise is now a horror icon. This is a coming of age tale. Friends, school, bullies, crushes, but all the while there is an evil lurking. It is out there. A creature, a killer, a clown. A lot of creepy imagery for a TV miniseries, and I like how the story gets told and how the once childhood friends are reunited after all going their separate ways in life. One is even in England, one's in New York, one's in Chicago, one's in Maine. I believe the other one's in Atlanta or something like that. And they all kind of take that trip back to Derry, back to Maine to keep their promise, their vow they made to one another when they were kids. Uh, we get to know each and every character, their issues, their fears, and their friendships. They're a crew, a group of friends, all dealing with individual life problems, but together they got each other's back. It's nostalgic, it's done well, and we learn each character's side story, along with what they're all going through, what the actual town is going through with a killer on the loose and all this creepy and crazy shit happening with disappearances, missing kids, and just all these murders going on in the town of Derry, Maine. Um, Pennywise lives in the sewer and talks through the drain. Let's see. He comes up through the drain. Shit's pretty cool. Pennywise kind of has Freddy Krueger vibes. He goes after kids. He uses their fears against them. He can transform into different entities. Yet, of course, He has his own mythology, his own story. Pretty cool shit here. It's dark and mean spirited at its core. I like how the flashbacks are utilized to show how each one of the characters went through different scenarios with Pennywise. It's cool, almost anthology style. Like you get to kind of like know every character's story from all angles, as in all of Stephen King's work and adaptations. This tells a great story with some underlying themes and life problems and struggles dealt with as well. There's a cool skeleton scene, a bloody drain scene, a gym shower scene, a werewolf scene. Pennywise is visiting these kids one by one, scaring the shit out of them. And when in clown form, Pennywise is creepy, especially when he has them sharp teeth and those crazy eyes. He has like these cool reddish yellow eyes. That's when he looks the creepiest to me, at least I think. I know a lot of people don't like clowns, and Pennywise is a creepy one for sure. This is like the horror version of Stand By Me, and I still love it. It's awesome. They call themselves the Losers Club, but they're friends. They're a crew. It is an ancient evil, and we get to know more of his backstory too. It is nightmare fuel. This is exactly, or this is actually more bloody than I remember it being. And also, I always thought all the balloons uh, were always red. There is some red, and I think the remake, the balloons are always red, but in this, the majority of the balloons are actually yellow. As far as network TV miniseries goes, this here, I might have to say, is my favorite one of all time. Tim Curry is great as Pennywise. So many good scenes throughout, and the sewer location is damp, dark, and dirty. It still looks great. It was awesome watching this as one long movie. This one takes me back. It's a classic. I remember watching it way back. This is some solid TV stuff, and I still love it. Stay tuned, and I'll be back in not too long. I think I will give it from 2017 a rewatch and review. I hope everyone is doing good out there. This has been Shay D of Shay D Horror, back on some of these Stephen King adaptations. Like I said, I just had to kind of set this out. There's the old VHS tape, which is cool because it's like the dual tape. The old novel there, the paperback, the DVD, but I watched this Blu-ray finally. Hope everyone's doing good out there. Be well, be good. This was